Hi, everyone, and welcome to another special edition of COSA TV. This is the O'Brien Award Preview Show. Craig Blanchard, Mark McKelvey, wonderful to be with you once again this evening. And Mark, going to be a little different again this year with a virtual O'Brien Award presentation this Sunday evening. And tonight, we're going to get a chance to visit with two of the most highly respected horsemen in the country.
Yeah, we're going to cover the country coast to coast. Gilles Barrieau and Kelly Hoerdt, they're the finalists for the Horsemanship Award that'll be presented coming up Sunday night at the O'Brien Awards. They're both past winners. They've been nominated multiple times, and it's going to be great to catch up with them. It's been an interesting year, no doubt about it. And I guess you think about it, Greg, it was almost a year ago when the O'Brien Awards happened that just after that, that's when the pandemic really hit. So one of the last big harness racing events where people were actually able to gather was the O'Brien Awards. And this year it'll be virtually, but still going to be a great night.
All right, and don't forget this Sunday evening to tune in. The O'Brien Awards themselves start at 7:30, but make sure to join us earlier than that. At 5:30, it is the Red Carpet Show with Kelly Spencer from 5:30 until 6:30. And again, the O'Brien Awards presentation coming up a little bit later that evening at 7:30. You can watch on the Standardbred Canada website, live streaming there, and live streaming as well on their Facebook page. So we'll take a quick break and be back in a moment with Kelly Hoerdt and Gilles Barrieau.
COSA, the Central Ontario Standardbred Association, proudly serving Ontario horse people with integrity and accountability. Collaborative, supportive, helping to ensure a vibrant harness racing industry. Lifetime membership is free and there are many benefits. Become a new member today. COSA, representing the interests of horse people racing at Ontario racetracks. To find out more, visit COSAonline.com.
Enjoy the thrill of the race anywhere, anytime with HPIBet.com. Join for free and use your smartphone, tablet, or PC to watch and wager when you can't be at the track. Stream live racing from over 450 tracks. Bet with ease from anywhere. It's safe and secure. Get rewards, race alerts, tips, and more. For a limited time, get $100 when you become a member. Plus, 1 month free live race streaming and your first bet is on us. Go to HPIBet.com to join for free today.
And welcome to COSA TV, the special edition. Again, Greg Blanchard and Mark McKelvey, joined by a couple of very special guests joining us tonight from different parts of the country. On the East Coast, Gilles Barrieau joining us, and Kelly Hoerdt from Western Canada. Gentlemen, great to have you both with us. Congratulations again on being finalists. Not the first time for either of you. And let's start right there. I'll ask both of you, maybe start with Gilles. Just what it means, even though you've won this award twice before, what it means to be nominated again and recognized for your success.
Well, again, it's a great honor just to get mentioned, and it just it's a lot of work to get to where we start and finish, and I did have a tremendous year here in the Maritimes, and I'm just honored to be mentioned again. So,
very humbling experience for sure. This my fourth nomination, and the guys that I've been with every time, very talented horsemen. This time especially up against Gilles, and congratulations for being nominated again. Like the guy just crushes out at the East Coast there. So to be nominated alongside of Gilles is an honor. And just having the hard work pay off, and I guess this is the recognition you get. It's never something. It's not something that's on the top of your mind when you're doing the job. So at the end of the day, if you get nominated for something like this, it's accolades that maybe you did part of your job right.
Getting nominated for this kind of award, like you guys said, it's very humbling. But in a year like 2020, where we experienced a year unlike any other with so many challenges, is it a little extra sweet to maybe be recognized in a year that took a whole lot of effort? I'll start with you, Gilles, because I know out there in the Maritimes, there's been different restrictions. And I know at one point, you were making a move from one province to the other and got held up. The horses could go, but you couldn't. Just talk about the challenges of this past year.
Well, it was frustrating for me. I mean, I had made plans to send my horses over by a trucker, and I was going to follow suit the next couple of weeks because I wanted to stay behind and train my yearlings. So I sent my horses along, and geez, a couple of days later, they had had gone into a red zone, and they had closed the bridge, and we weren't allowed to get over. So but at least the ones I sent over, they were racing at the time, and got them qualified by other people. And I had two good men here on the island anyway that looked after them. So they got raced for about a month without me being here. I stayed back with the babies, and everything worked out. I couldn't, they raced great. Owners were happy. Uh, So I guess it was July till I got over, or later part of June, and we just things it just kept falling into pieces really, and the horses raced great, and my babies they started up, and had a good year with them too. So no, like I say, it was an obstacle to get started, but we got the job done.
Yeah, Jill, certainly a big obstacle, and I think Kelly, your story from this past year is very similar, right? You had operations racing part of the year in British Columbia, part of the year in Alberta, and then right in the middle of all of that, COVID hits. Tell us your story and how that impacted your operation.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if we are coming or going. I probably did, I don't know, 15 or 20 flights back and forth, which, it's not unusual throughout the year because I've had to split up the stable because I have so many horses overlapping in classes. So when Fraser Downs open, I have to send 15 horses or 20 horses there and keep the same amount back here at home. I didn't have the same as Gilles. I could go back and forth. They let me go back and forth fine. But it came down to just incredible staff. Like I had the best people anywhere, best grooms, best caretakers. I challenge anybody to find better people to work alongside them than what I have. So I'm looking at it that way. So the trips back and forth, and then we still had I think four major stake races that were slated for Fraser Downs within the next 4 weeks. Our shutdown came, and those stakes never got to, I had horses in there and poised specifically for those races, and we never did get to utilize that opportunity. So, we had to come back home, did some racing here. The shutdown came, go crazy for a while, back up again, sent some horses back to Fraser Downs again, and then raced some here again, and put a lot of air miles on. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you both come from different sides of the country, both really, I would say, hotbeds for horse people. A lot of history in both jurisdictions, but a lot of ups and downs over the years, and you both kind of had to go through that and weather the storm, respectively. Gilles, maybe talk about the move from St. John, track where you grew up and plied your trade for a number of years. Once the giant of maritime racing, but obviously things in New Brunswick not the way they were back in the 70s, 80s in its heyday. But in Prince Edward Island, government really supported racing and a couple of new racetracks, and you've made the decision to relocate over to the island, correct? And maybe tell us what ultimately led to that decision.
Well, actually, I was in St. John for their heyday when it was booming at the time. I was there later part of my early teens, I guess, and things were booming back then. I was working with Marcel, of course, and he had the likes of Wally Hennessy there and Steve Mahar and all them guys, and things started declining when all them guys kind of moved on, and I stayed behind, and you just could see every year there was a decline, but my home was there, and my wife she's a school teacher, and we're pretty well had to stay put, really. I mean, I made a couple of moves to Ontario for the winter, 3 winters, I guess, and came back, and I was kind of living like a hobo, and just the last 3 or 4 years, it was
Welcome to
just
horse racing.
terrible home. Yeah. Last 3 or 4 years, home's just been no stake races, or so I'd spend my summers here in Charlottetown for, I'd stay 6 or 7 months. Then come fall, when the stake season was over, I'd go back home and train my babies and get them ready for the next summer. And as soon as May or June come along, I'd come back here to the island. But I had enough of that here last year. I said it's time to, Kelly's retiring here at the end of January, my wife. So we're gonna stay put here and make our home PEI. So that's basically what has gone
Sure.
with my life.
And
Kelly, yeah,
I was just going to say,
we're probably
Mark might be
the same thing, Greg.
yeah, probably the same question. But same thing, yeah. I mean, your story, a lot of turbulent times in Alberta, from the highs and the lows of uncertainty at Northlands and Stampede Park, and now new race tracks and a bit brighter future. And you've set up your base there, right? You have is it Bedrock Downs or Bedrock Farms? Is that correct? And
Yeah.
and you're well established. And just tell us, how you've resisted that temptation to maybe move to another jurisdiction with a little more stability.
Bedrock Training Center, just a phenomenal place to have your horses. We have a swimming pool there, an indoor exerciser. Even in the, like I was saying earlier, the inclement weather that we have right now, our horses, we can keep them moving all the time, and it's helped with therapies and horses that have injuries, rehabilitation. It's helped immensely. But yeah, we've had some ups and downs, of course, like every racetrack. When Stampede Park closed, and everybody was very excited about the new racetrack that was going to open in Balzac, but that was put off for quite a while. We were left at one B track. We had one A track that we shared, with thoroughbreds, and then all of a sudden Northlands Park shuts down. So now we're looking for another racetrack. Fortunately, Century Casino stepped in, and we now have 2 racing facilities, and both great spots to race. The future looks very bright here. We got great slots at racetrack, I think, as company that has that program. And I think, we got something to look forward to if we ever get through this damn pandemic.
That's the big thing. If we can get through it, I'm sure, everybody's got to keep looking forward. But speaking of looking forward, when 2019 wrapped up for you, Kelly, it was an incredible season. Just looking at your numbers, career highs in earnings and career highs in wins when it comes to the training side. And you nearly matched those numbers this past season. The money a little less, of course, as you mentioned, some stake races were canceled, but just 10 less wins from that career high in 2019. What were your expectations for 2020? Had you set a goal that you wanted to top those numbers from 2019? And overall, I guess you had to just be thrilled with how the year went, considering everything we faced.
I just try to do better every year. Just try to better yourself, better your stock, and goals. I don't set certain goals other than just to try to be a better horseman and train horses better. Try to learn a little something from the year before, and maybe do better the next year. No secret recipes.
Well, let's talk about some of the horses that really paid the way for you this year. Gilles, you talked about the numbers you put up and how your youngsters performed. We'll touch on a couple of them. The first one, Tobin's Rebel. 9 of 15 this past year, made $66,000. That's big money in Atlantic Canada. And you said the horse had some issues. I believe I read that he had to deal with throughout the year.
Yeah, he was a real nice colt, even last year, and this year he had more issues, and we just when he had a bow tendon actually, and started out the year. I said, well, we're gonna just have to go start to start and see what happens. But yeah, he was a horse with a big heart. He just had the desire. He just wanted to win, really, and we kept him going all year. Gordy Ford looked after him, and he spent a lot of time on him and cold water, what have you. And he was just a workshop, but he was a horse with big heart. Anyway, last couple of races, he just had enough. I mean, he was telling us that he raced hard all summer, and last couple of races weren't so good. So we had to find a home for him. We couldn't sell him because he was wore out, and so he's got a good home now. And they broke him into a saddle, and all in sleighs here this winter. So no, he was a colt with a big heart. It's a shame he had some issues. And last year, as a 2-year-old, had some slab fracture in his knees, both knees. So he overcame all that, and he still come back, and he raced good all summer. Yeah. And my 2-year-olds, they stepped up. A couple of them made 30,000, and for the Maritimes here, it's good. So, and I just brought them in last week, and they look fine. They grew up a lot, so I'm expecting big things from them this year again. So, see what happens.
Yeah, 227,000 in earnings for your stable, and again, on the East Coast, that's big money. One of your best years ever. And Kelly, for you, one of the big guns in your barn this year, a horse called Criminal Record. What can you tell us about this horse? Did he exceed expectations that you had for him last year?
He raced really well, especially towards the end of the year. We had some bouts with sickness throughout the year, and he wasn't a big fan of shipping. So when we got to Century Mile, which is only 15 minutes away from my farm, his performance doubled as I expected. So he was my top earner this year. I didn't have any superstar barn, but I had him that had a real good, solid, honest year. I think he made just under 100. And a lot of really nice medium class claimers and conditioned horses that were they raced their heart along. So that's how our year was this year. I had a couple 2-year-olds that show some promise for the 3-year-old year. So I mean, we're looking ahead. If we get to race here anytime, I got some that I'm really hopeful for.
Kelly, there's one horse that I really noticed stood out, and that was towards the end of the season. That was a really good winning streak for a pacing mare named Custom Magic Dragon. Talk a bit about her, because she looks like she's just a dream to have in your barn. She's picking up checks. She's picking up wins all the time. And right since to this point now, 31 wins and 73 career starts and over 300,000 made. She's just got to be a dream to have.
Yeah, and just real nice to drive too. Drives like a car. You can do anything with her. She can race on the front and tries her heart out every week. And showed up again this year. Had another great year. I think she's over 300,000 now time earnings, and we bred her and raised her. So there's always a lot when you get one like that. So and she'd be racing right now if we were racing. She's ready to.
I want to ask you both. You're both kind of a rare breed in horse racing these days, guys that train big stables and also do the primary driving for those operations as well. And being that it's not the way it used to be, where that was always the case. Nowadays, do you take a little bit of extra pride in that? And I mean, that's obviously a reason you're both here time and time again as finalists for this type of award. Maybe I'll put that to both of you and start with Gilles.
Well, it's I mean, we put countless hours in this business. I mean, we're up early in the morning, we do our work, and I try not to set any goals or whatever, but I mean, for with what I start with in the fall, I mean, I have to pretty well count on what I'm gonna have for the for the year, really, because I have my regular owners that I've had for years, and whatever we get, so I have to make do with what I have, really. And I mean, it's going good. So
Yeah. Kelly, same question to you. Driving and training, and obviously a bit of an advantage, I suppose, when you can drive your own horses. You know them better than anyone. Oh, I think we're having some technical issues. Can you hear us, Kelly?
A little bit of technical difficulty. Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, just maybe talk about that, driving your own. That's got to be a big advantage.
It is for sure knowing your own horse, but I mean, that goes for any driver that gets to know any horse and is a regular pilot on that horse. I think that helps a lot too. But probably what I'm the most proud of throughout the year is obviously I couldn't be in two places at once, and I had to use a lot of different talented catch drivers to drive my horses. I did not have to be there for my horses to win races. My horses raced just fine when they had other drivers on them. So that's probably what I'm the most proud of is the training end of it before the driving end of it. I mean, it starts with having great caretakers and great grooms. They make the horses look fantastic. The horses make the trainers look fantastic, which makes the drivers look fantastic. So that's probably probably what I'm the most proud of. I didn't have to be there for the horses to do good. I have the right people in place.
All right, looks like we're losing Gilles. He's sliding further and further out of the screen, so we'll let Curtis try and get him centered up there for us. So as we continue on here, let's talk horsemanship. And you guys are known for, I think, just your overall work ethic, obviously your skills in looking after horses, being able to manage them and getting the best out of them. So you had to learn that over the years, gained experience and had mentors yourself. Want to ask both of you who your early influences were and guys that you took your lessons from in becoming what you are today. Gilles, I assume some of the great horsemen in St. John were your early mentors.
yes, of course, it was my uncle Marcel Barrieau, which is well known in Ontario there right now. I came to work for him. I was still going to school, actually. Quit grade school or grade 9 to go work for him, and he was a great mentor, and that's the reason where I'm at today. I really learned a lot from him, and he's a really good horseman, and rest is history, actually.
And Kelly, you were born into the business as well?
That's right. Yeah. My dad was racing when I was born, so he had just started racing. A set of golf clubs for his first racehorse, actually. It's a story he used to tell me anyway. So, but, I started by learning from him. Learning from him, and then I went to work for my brother Glenn. And I still apply a lot of the training method that I learned from my brother Glenn many years ago to the horses that I have today in conditioning. But along the way, no particular mentor. I just watch the people around you, see what they do, and watch the guys that are making money, and try to emulate. Watch the guys that aren't making money and don't do what they do. So
it's a good way to put it. Is there one thing you've noticed from when you started to now that has really changed? I mean, obviously, with anything, there's going to be evolution. But what's one thing that maybe sticks out from when you first got into the sport till now that's really caught your eye with how much it's changed?
I don't know. Like when I got into this, it seemed like there was a lot more. I don't know, maybe younger, and I'd watch these race, and and there was, a hand. Those horses just seemed to be ultimate. All horses, and wow, one went a mile in 156 one day. Holy crap! And it's what when it makes you really wanted to do it. I guess the difference is now every horse goes fast. It doesn't matter what class they're in. Not to diminish my outlook, but it seemed like there was a lot more greats at that time, and now it's like all the horses are great. Or flashes of greatness, and I guess that just attributes to the refinement of the breed as we went along. But that's probably what I've noticed the most. I don't think it's as big a deal if I'm and winning an open race in 1-2 or winning an open or a stake race going for 100,000 as I did when I was a kid watching the greats do it. So that's probably the only difference, really.
And that kind of brings me to it's a good segue in talking about the evolution of speed. And Gilles, I'll ask you this about the maritime bred horses in particular. I was looking back to a few years ago, thinking about the great 2-year-olds of the day, Seltzer Blue, horses like Firm's Phantom, who had close to undefeated seasons as rookies, and they were winning by 8 and 9 lengths every time out in 158, 159. Now this year, a horse named Woodmere Steel Deal setting records and pacing in 154 multiple times on the half-mile ovals down there. So I'm sure you must give your head a shake at times when you see how much the breed has evolved. And you know it firsthand now because these maritime breds are going to other jurisdictions like Ontario, and they're very competitive there as well.
Oh yeah, our breed here is our mares are getting stronger, and we're getting way better mares, and our stallions, we have a good crop of stallions here too, so our breed are getting much stronger. And this year was a real tough year. We had a real good colt here chasing him all summer. He was, and a lot of and not just him, but a lot of 2-year-olds were pacing in 55 this summer, which was unusual, and it's like I say, just our breed are getting stronger, and our broodmare ranks are getting better, and each year it just blows me away how I don't know when it's going to end, but I mean it's no, it's just the crops are getting better. That's about the size of it.
I was going to say, quite a testament to a colt like that to be able to stay undefeated this year, going that kind of speed and having other colts that could actually push him is pretty amazing. Kelly, want to ask you about sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Kelly, you've got a big name horse in Western Canada too that you would have seen race and raced against, I'm sure. Major Custard, and announced recently he's been sold to Ontario interests. First of all, your thoughts on him, and what can folks in this part of the world expect to see when he comes here?
Oh, he's a phenomenal colt out here. I chased him around summer long. I had 3 or 4 that were in stake races with him, and no matter what strategies, we couldn't beat him. I mean, he looks like he's a push button horse to drive. He raced from off the pace. He could use him early, and a beautiful, he looks the part too. Just another really good looking Custard the Dragon. He's produced some fantastic horses out. He's the the premier stallion out west right now, for sure. Kind of following in the footsteps of the old days as promised. But I think they're going to see some really big things out of that horse. He looked really good his last starts here, and he's going to get some freshening up, I'm sure now. And I think the guys that have him are going to be very happy with with the product they got from Jim Marino.
And I think it's easy to say that having a horse come from out in Western Canada here to Ontario, obviously it keeps the interest of the folks back your way, Kelly. But here as well, I think it raises the profile for the racing that is going on in Western Canada. And here in Ontario, a lot of the times we're able to catch those races, whether it's a Fraser Downs on a Friday night towards later in the evening. There's a little better spotlight for it. How often are you in communication with different people that maybe aren't as familiar with the product and starting to get into it? Have you attracted any new owners? Has there been anybody in Ontario that you've been able to get in contact with that's got an interest in the racing that is happening out in Western Canada?
I have, but it's mostly been for for the just for the sale of horses, not so much guy to buy horses, invest to race in Western Canada. Just as it's not comparable as far as purse monies go, and the demographic for the people that are buying horses. If they want to go watch them in person, that's it's quite a flight for them. But I like 10 horses out there. I've myself and just recently have sent a few horses out there that have shown they're as competitive. Their numbers are real. Like when they here, they were doing well. They've done as well or even better. So we have a good product out here. The best are the best of them are good, and the ones that aren't so good, well, they don't, because they're not good enough. But the ones that do make it, I've sent some. Jim Marino has sent some. I've sent horses out east, and they've done very well. But, our product is comparable to what east. We just don't have numbers.
Well, I want to ask you both about your ownership groups. You're only as good as obviously having good support and good people behind you. Gilles, talk about a guy like Wayne McRae. You've had a long relationship as an example. Someone like him, and who are the others that have been with you kind of over the years and really helped you continue to do what you do and put up these kind of numbers?
Yeah, Wayne's a terrific guy. He just kind of lets me do my thing, actually. He likes Ontario breds, but he'll always buy the Maritime breds too. I have Wayne and Dan Ross, real good owner. I've had owners for decades that stuck with me, and they just they don't buy. I'm lucky that way. They don't put any pressure on me, and but no, it's I try to keep around 12 horses in my barn. So and them guys, they own the majority of them, actually. So so it kind of tells you something when they stick with you for that many years, and it's been fun having them. Yeah, they're really good people.
And Kelly, same
Yeah, well,
question to you.
You have Gilles. When Gilles, I was going to say, Gilles, when you do that good, you're not going to have much pressure on you. So.
No, I don't put any pressure.
I've got
on
great
myself.
owners. I've got probably right now about a dozen partners. I'm partners with all my owners in my barn, and I think they like that, and I certainly do too. But I got some great people. I can't fault any of my. I get some great owners. I got owners that have been with me for a long time. Blair Corbeil, fantastic owner. Fred Gilbert, Carol Dunbar, Jacques Lambert. I mean, just Bill Andrew. I got some great guys that Blair Poliganski. They're just so solid. Every one of them, all business people. They know the ups and downs of all. So that's helped. It's helped them their segue into this sport too as well. And they don't. We're all on the same page when it comes to what's going to work best for the business. So I appreciate all of them.
And can you tell us about that model, Kelly? You talked about the fact that you're partners with them. more so than just training horses for these folks. Is it important to you? Is it important for them as owners for you to have a bit of skin in the game, as they say?
Yeah, I think it works. I think it just works out well that they know that the best interest is what's happening when their trainer driver is got money invested as well in that horse. Not that it would be any different if I didn't, but I think I think they like that model, and I do too. I get to call them, partners. I don't necessarily call them my partners. So we're all in this together. So we're going through the hard times, the good times, and the bad times together.
Just have a little fun here, a little trip down memory lane for both of you. Can you tell me a favorite horse that you were associated with? And you can go back as far as you want. Maybe one that you trained or drove, or even maybe you groomed as a youngster before you really got into the game. Kelly, let's start with you on that one.
Probably a horse called one of my first purchases with an owner. I didn't really have enough money. I didn't have enough money, so I called one of the owners. I said, if you put up the cash for the horse, it wasn't a lot of money either at that time. I didn't have any, so he put up the cash, and we did a deal where I just took it off the training. The horse come around big. She had a lameness working on her from week to week, and that's probably the horse that really got the ball rolling for me. Got her for about $6,000 or $7,000, and I think she made a couple hundred for us.
Can I get you to repeat the name, Kelly? I think you broke up just as you said it.
Oh, yeah, Neely Smarty.
Neely Smarty. Good stuff. Gilles, what about you?
Well, I would have to say, Greg, you probably know this, or Comedy Hour. I had a lot of fun with him back in the 80s. Raced free-for-alls for 3 or 4 years, and he was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed him. There's a few more too, but he was probably the standout, really. Yeah.
And I think if we're going to stick to the fun theme here, we definitely, Greg, have to ask Kelly about this outfit that Standardbred Canada was really touting in their article the past week, talking about the fact that you're not going to be able to attend the awards in person. You still have quite a get-up. I know we saw the Philadelphia Eagles suit before. What are we expecting this year?
Well, we can't talk about the Eagles, okay?
Fair.
It definitely won't be the Eagles suit. Not that I'm jumping off the bandwagon, but wow, what a pitiful year. But at least they finally found a coach now anyway. My daughter is a aspiring makeup artist, so I'm going to let her do her thing with me, and I've got a suit picked out, but she's going to add some extras to it. And so actually her and my girlfriend are both going to attend the virtual gala with me. So it should be fun. We're going to do some get some pictures done, I guess, maybe even as early to send in to Kathy. So we'll see. I don't know. Should be okay. Should be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, we remember that jacket well. Yeah, we remember the jacket. That was a big hit that year. Gilles, if you were going to wear an outfit that had a sports team theme, what team would you go with?
Oh, definitely have to be my Montreal Canadiens, I guess, eh?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Thought you were going to say that.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, definitely Montreal Canadiens. But I'm a playing type of a guy, though. I would never just casual kind of a guy. Eh? Yeah.
And I think, and Mark, you would agree, and I think all of us here, we're all going to miss that again this year, that social aspect of attending the O'Briens in person. It's a long trip for both of you guys, but you mentioned about the long year, all the hours and the work you put in. I'm sure you look forward to a little trip like that, a getaway and a night like that, just from a social aspect. Yeah,
that would have been fun. I mean, I've been lucky enough to attend it a few times now, and I just had a blast every time.
Yeah, same goes here. It's great to see everybody there, and a few laughs, and no, gonna miss that for sure.
Well, listen, guys, we want to
we'll
thank
still
you
have
very
fun.
much. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and it's going to be a wonderful night. We want to wish you both luck. There really are no losers in this category, and two of the most respected horsemen in all of Canada. There's no question about that. And listen, we want to wish you continued success next year and beyond. And thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Mark, and good luck, Gilles.
Yeah, same goes to you, Kelly.
All right. Good sportsmanship as well. Good to see Gilles Barrieau, Kelly Hoerdt, and we'll see them and many others. The best of Canadian harness racing will be honored once again this Sunday evening, and coverage will be available on the Standardbred Canada website, live streaming there as well. Going to be live streamed on the Standardbred Canada Facebook page. The award ceremony gets underway at 7:30, but make sure to join at 5:30 for the red carpet show. Kelly Spencer will be walking you through that. That's going to be a lot of fun for 1 hour from 5:30 until 6:30. Some video previews after that, and then the awards portion of the program. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest content, and we'll see you next time on COSA TV.
COSA, the Central Ontario Standardbred Association, proudly serving Ontario horse people with integrity and accountability. Collaborative, supportive, helping to ensure a vibrant harness racing industry. Lifetime membership is free and there are many benefits. Become a new member today. COSA, representing the interests of horse people racing at Ontario racetracks. To find out more, visit COSAonline.com.